So that message says I am streaming now. And I see I need to disable the waiting room. Gonna do that in a moment. Actually, I'm gonna wait for a moment for that. So we all know I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm admitting Jim and turning off the waiting room. And we hear doorbells, people coming in. A little different start today. I just dispensed with the checklist. I figured, you know what, with all that long checklist, I was still having things go wrong at the beginning of the broadcast. Might as well just start the broadcast. And so let's see how things are going. Well, that's interesting. I lost the video. There it is. So I hear audio through YouTube. That's working. Give me an AVDW check in over YouTube, please. I'm going to pop out chat and go say hello to people. I've already said hello to the people that I've seen in chat before starting broadcast. Punch this button over here. Here's my last hellos. So, Ran Israel, hello to you. Chris, yes, you are live. Thank you. Arnold Albert, hello. Greg, I said hello to earlier. He says AV good, sound good from Rick. So I'm hearing AVDW. Well, here's W. The watch goes on the desk. And then if I punch over here to Zoom, I see who we've got there. And let's find out if I got Zoom audio okay. Oh, I need to do that. My picture over the picture for YouTube. I did say hello to Tim before I let Jim in, so I'm saying hello to Jim first on stream. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Doug. I'd like to make a short PSA, if I might. The fact that I was here on time and at the beginning of Zoom, people make peace with your God. It's a certain sign of the coming apocalypse.
That's right. That's right. I see you commonly on Carrie's channel and even on mine, where you come in late and you're catching up on using the DVR. You're here at the beginning. How about that? Other people have to catch up with you.
That's usually not the case.
Yeah. Tim and I were chatting a little bit earlier, and I got something I'd like Tim's help with over my house since he lives locally. Tim, can you come over here?
Oh yeah.
Wait. How long is it going to take you to get here, Tim?
Oh, good Lord.
What? What's up? Oh, that's quick. Yeah, Tim's here. That's my kitchen he's at. And a response from Jim of, oh, good Lord. Yeah, that's a what kind of thing to do, Jim? What do you have to be to pull that off? Such a Doug.
Yeah, I believe I pointed that out earlier.
You did. Tim rode his e-bike over here this morning. And there's Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey.
And Josh. Hello to Josh.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
I was just going to ask you, you heard about the earthquakes they've been having in Georgia near Metter?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got family out there.
Yep.
4.9.
Yep.
Do you even notice that in California?
No.
No.
I didn't think so.
But we do have our own earthquakes out here. Not real often, not very severe. Well, not very severe where we were at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 4.9 in California is like, what was that noise?
Yeah. Unless you're near the epicenter, then it's more noticeable. But still, I don't think that's very strong for a California earthquake. Let's see. I'll say hello to a couple of other people. I think here, Arnold Albert. Let's see. I can bring the zoom onto the picture-in-picture there. Yeah, I think I already saw some of these. Yeah, catching up. Dr. Rob, hello to you. Lana Dro just finished watching Carrie's Friday movie. DVR, good. Whoops, I jumped. Who else is new here? Dennis says he doesn't know why the watch comes off. That's probably not needed anymore. Originally, that was because two of the people that are commonly, or at least back then were commonly watching, had my cell phone number that would let me know if there was audio-visual problems by texting me. But we haven't needed that for a long time. And the other thing is when I had my microphone set up differently, is my watch would keep, anytime it would touch against the desk, it would kind of make an extra noise through the microphone. So I probably don't need to be doing that anymore. Long Dog's here. Speedy C was in the kitchen. It jumped again. Looks like a camera trick. Dennis says that was hilarious. Davi says, surprise. Ran Israel saying hello. Ken Stout on the phone. On listening on my home phone shortly. Will be. What did we have an earthquake in California? I live in the great magnificent desert empire. I'm surrounded by earthquake faults. Now the earthquake comment was from Chris about what state did he say?
Georgia.
Georgia.
It was
All
near
right.
Statesboro. I used to live there.
All right. Hellos back and forth. Ida had a 3.6 on Thursday, not then major. Hellos back and forth. So that's got us caught up. Winter meat answers my question that it was Georgia. All right. So the title, or I think the title of the video, or the thumbnail in the description is upgrading Baby Beast. I don't think that's going to take very much show and tell or conversation. I'm just going to click to do it. Now, my preparation before doing that was I did a full image backup. Yeah, I did 2 full image backups yesterday. Because one is on a partition that's on the NVMe storage media that's in Baby Beast, and the other was on an external drive. My intention is that I can go back to Windows 10 back and forth, and I put it in the description that my intention is to run Windows 11 for a while on Baby Beast and then bring it back to Windows 10 and then upgrade Big Beast to Windows 11. And I'm pretty much expecting it to be a nothing burger, but could be troubles. I don't know. See how it goes. Now, I set up today without my checklist because it was just taking up too much time in my days. So let's see. Oh, I just pulled up Baby Beast and it has one of Ken's videos still on it. So let me prep Baby Beast a little bit. I guess I actually ought to close everything that's open on it, and then we'll start the upgrade and then see if there's any other topics for us to talk about. Yeah, okay, so I can bring it up on screen now and turn off the participants panel on Zoom. I'm pressing the Windows key. Update settings is my favorite way to get into Windows Update. Then here's download and install, and boom, download and install. Accept and install. There we go, off and running. So both of the Baby Beast and Big Beast obviously are Windows 11 capable. Let's fix that. A picture over picture in Zoom. When more people comes in, I have to fix that a little bit. I have some presets for that, but I only get 3 presets with XSplit, so I can't accommodate all the changes that'll happen. Back to Big Beast. And downloading 4%. Wow. Okay, this is gonna not go quickly.
No, we're going to be here a while.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started right off the bat. Are there any other topics within the community that any of you on Zoom or in the chat room would like to bring up?
Well, I'm just, I'm stunned that you didn't get the automatic, Windows installed all by itself thing.
No, never happened. I never did anything to block it. Both Big Beast and Baby Beast, I never turned off TPM or TTP, whatever the variations are.
Yeah, well,
I never even looked.
That was kind of a sarcastic comment, quite frankly.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I've yet to have anybody show me any real proof that Windows 11 is installing all by itself without user intervention.
Right. I have had a couple of clients show up to work one day finding that Windows 11 was installed, but I have zero reason to believe that they didn't allow it, not realizing that they were allowing it.
Thank you. That's exactly what my reasoning is. These people are doing something or not noticing something, and that's their doing. But
on them, yeah. But I'm not doing anything on my clients' computers to prevent it from installing. When they ask me, I tell them no, decline it, because saying yes, go ahead, makes it possible there might be issues, and certainly they have no idea of the slight differences the way it's going to look. But eventually, at least during the last year, I'll be wanting to say yes to that, because I don't want to have a bunch of computers upgrading to Windows 11 or during the last few months. And that was the same thing that I did Windows 7 to Windows 10. Is I didn't want it to be a last minute thing. So during the last year, I will probably start intentionally initiating the upgrade on my client computers myself. Not too worried about how it goes on any of them. So catching up again on chat. Started with where I was at. Just if you want to be sure I catch something, put me in orange like Chris did here. Windows 11, you still have to go through a lot of setup things because I believe they changed a lot of the defaults back to the stuff we don't like. And that could be. And I'll notice that as doing this upgrade on these computers. Chris, better look at Task Manager and close anything not necessary before migrating. Okay. No, I'm just going to see how it goes. If I have troubles due to not doing that, I want to discover that. Take a week of Sundays. Dennis, I use downloaded ISO to upgrades. I don't want to have to go through the extra steps. I want to determine it does the automatic in-place upgrade by Windows work smoothly. I don't want to be doing this extra work if I don't need to. One Dog, we need to start making a checklist to see what Windows 11 put back to default. We need to check the restore file size. My latest favorite to change is Quick Boot in Windows settings. And give me for a few more minutes, I'll come up with others. And I'm sure there are others. Let's see. Oh, Josh get a haircut? Oh, yes. Oh, you know what? I already saw that. I already did see that. Did I? No, it was Tim. Was it Tim or was it Josh that I noticed?
Alex got one.
Oh, Alex. That's right. Alex got a haircut. Josh got one too. That looks good, Alex. Josh.
Thank you.
Yeah. I like that.
Hard to tell them apart. Although they don't like that.
There you go. That brings us more to
Morning, Josh.
More to the twins. More to the twins comment for them, huh? Might you bring up Task Manager? Oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that now. Yeah, let's bring up Task Manager. We are at installing 0%. That previous was downloading. There we go. CPU 14%, memory 21, disk 4, network 0. And this has gone to the installing phase. If I would have looked at this during the upgrade phase, we might have seen activity. Now, because my intention is to keep this on Windows 11 for a while, then restore it back to Windows 10, I may wind up going through the upgrade process again in order to document the checklist of things that people may be interested in considering. If that becomes a thing, may or may not. Ida said she did it on her laptop. Nothing was different. Even all the taskbar shortcuts were there. Only had to position the taskbar, change the taskbar position. I don't think I'll even bother with that. Ran Israel, I finally figured out how to set up that hybrid MS local account configuration I asked you about last week. Yeah, you're taxing my memory to remember that conversation last week. 64 years old. Yep. Zavi, why do you prefer to upgrade Windows updates rather than ISO file? Because I did a single click. It was a single click. I don't have to put it in a thumb drive. I don't have to do the download. Now, if there may wind up, I may wind up discovering a reason that I would rather do it from an ISO file. Also, my client upgrades, I most likely will connect to their computers remotely, perform an image backup to a partition on their internal hard drive, and then initiate the upgrade remotely. I don't want to be sitting at their desk doing the upgrade. Ida likes Josh's haircut. Chris McGraw, it did ask my youngest daughter's PC, and my son declined. But if he did not, he said he would have installed automatically without human interaction, and he showed me the message.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think he's saying there that it said that it would have installed automatically without human interaction. So I think, and I can't say I prove it because I didn't take a picture, but I think I have seen a message where if you didn't click to decline or to say not now, that perhaps it would have. And I don't know that because I've always clicked decline. But I do recall, I think I have seen the word decline in there. So does that imply that if you ignore the message, don't respond to it, that it would do it? I don't know.
Well, all I know is that the streamer and my gaming machine both have the notification that Windows 11, is ready for you, blah, 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 blah. I have not clicked on stay on Windows 10. I have not done anything to quote unquote discourage the upgrade, but it still hasn't happened magically.
Yeah. Another thing.
My new computer that I recently bought, Amazon was advertising it for Windows 10 Pro, and when I got it, it magically came with Windows 11, which I wasn't expecting. And how I knew that is because when you go through the setup process, when you boot it up, I'm used to seeing the blue background saying just a moment because that's what it looked like in Windows 10.
Yeah, but that did not upgrade automatically, Josh. That was pre-installed that way.
Yeah, that was pre-installed, but the point was it was supposed to come with Windows 10, but it came with Windows 11. Now I know the difference because Windows 11 has a black screen and Windows 10 has the blue screen in the setup process. That's how I know that the two different operating systems.
Was that your Nook?
Yeah.
Okay. And because there may be people watching this video that don't know, the Nook is a little micro computer, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got going over here on Baby Beast now? Installing 35%. There's the numbers. If I go over here to the performance tab, I mean, there's just nothing really noteworthy about any of that. On a slower computer, it may be taking a larger percentage of the CPU and or memory. 25% of the memory, and I have I don't have 256 gigabytes on that computer because that's Baby Beast. So since I mentioned that, let's go show what that is. That's an i7 10700K CPU, 3.79 gigahertz, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Then go, let's see.
Interesting.
There, left arrow, I can get back to that. Was there something interesting about that? Was that Jim that said interesting?
I said interesting, but I'm trying to do something on my end. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
something else. Okay. All right. Taking another look at chat. Chris, it would have done so after some idle time. Oh, I want to here's my thought about. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime back in history, with Microsoft's rolling out of updates and the progression they made regarding Windows 11, that at some point in time, that some computers may have experienced an automatic upgrade without user intervention, because Microsoft isn't real, effective about communicating all the little details of what they do and don't do. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some point in time back there that they did do. If you don't click to decline, the upgrade happened, but that doesn't seem to be the current case, because nobody's documented it as far as I can tell. People have claimed it, but no documentation. And documentation doesn't mean somebody writing it on a blog post.
No, it means like screenshots or actual video of whatever it's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, also another nice haircut. Let's see, Acer Nitro. This keeps scrolling on me. Ran Israel, using a Microsoft account and keep logging in using a local account. Now, I am also preparing my thoughts along the lines of eventually for my clients complying with the Microsoft account. And that is due to a certain persuasion of liability that I think I have as a computer consultant. So consider this. I wouldn't be at all surprised if behind closed doors, Microsoft execs or even some of them are maybe lose sleep at night over the possibility that down the road, the possibility that some major catastrophe could happen related to computer security and terrorists' ever increasing interest in computer compromises. If they come up with some way to have a major devastating effect worldwide, and it's eventually tracked back to, perhaps through congressional hearings and such, of choices that Microsoft made, where if they made the more stronger-willed, higher security, more privacy invasive choices, that they could have prevented this worldwide catastrophe. And because of that, Microsoft behind closed doors has decided to get stronger and stronger about forcing this connection to Microsoft accounts. That's a little bit science fiction. Nobody's making that claim. But from me as a computer consultant, if a client of mine suffers trouble down the road, and I've been resisting doing tricks and doing things to avoid what Microsoft says they want us to have, and they're claiming in part for security, and I was denying it, I conceivably could be held accountable for that. This is just kind of a recent thinking that I have, and I don't really have, I don't like the connection to Microsoft account. I don't like going the way of Apple, because they've been requiring it for a long time. But is my not liking something sufficient for me to depart from Microsoft's advice on my clients' computers? I'm just starting to toy with that reasoning or thought process. That's enough of an introduction for that. Chris, I prefer to free any resources, speed up upgrade process. I don't think Baby Beast would be a problem with that, or downgrade. And also on my client computers that are not as strong as Baby Beast, that could become an issue. But I'll do that in response to discovering that it's an issue rather than taking action ahead of time, I think. I might wind up being persuaded differently. We need to check automated update from Microsoft. We may learn something about how it may disturb installed programs and other things, especially settings from Windows 10. And I have had some clients who have clicked to allow the upgrade on their own initiative. And when I find out about it, I do not chastise them about it. I just am watching. And so far, there's never been a consequence. I'm happy to report that. Some of you would rather I report that there is consequences, but sorry, there hasn't been. As we all know, the cleanest install is to start over, but that oftentimes is an insane amount of work. Boy, you're right about that. On my client computers especially, because of the number of different software programs. So I want to avoid that. I would hate to have to do that on a bunch of computers belonging to customers. Right on. Zvi, no need DOK. Boy, I hate it. Acronyms. What is that? So anybody in chat? Yeah, anybody in Zoom know what he means? DOK. No need DOK. Only load the ISO with browser and run setup. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta remember, I'm a Doug. I don't get these obscure acronyms people throw at me once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know the acronym. I think he means if you just run setup from when you're running Windows, it will upgrade that way and may keep some of your programs and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can write. Yeah, you can do a download ISO. You could. Well, no, you can't do an upgrade installation by booting off a USB. You have to.
No, you
launch
boot
it
into your C drive, but you
Right.
run setup from the flash
Yeah.
drive or CD, whatever.
Yeah, and
I
that
think that's what
does
he means.
save downloading. So it's conceivable that I could download the installer like on one of the computers and then copy it from computer to computer remotely from within a client's office. Saves doing the full download for each computer, but the download doesn't take me time. I click on a button and it starts doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So me copying from one computer to another is extra work on my part, even if I'm doing it remotely. So we got 76% there. I'll bring the task manager back up.
Doug, I don't know if you want to highlight this or not. I've got my Windows update screen here.
Okay, I got you spotlighted and broadcasting that, and
This
I've
screen,
got it.
this screen has been this way easily for 6 months.
Yeah,
And I've not seen any evidence that it wants to go to 11 on its own. It's been sitting like this forever.
yeah.
I've got two
Hey.
machines that have this exact same thing going on. Neither one has done something magical.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, can we do an experiment with this? When you are you displaying that as you changed your camera input to be one of your monitors rather than sharing your screen?
I changed the camera using OBS's virtual camera.
Right. So it's kind of blurry over YouTube and my screen. Can you try doing that same thing as a screen share rather than as a OBS camera input?
I can certainly try. Just give me a minute to.
I'm gonna have to check and see if I have to allow that.
You are gonna have to allow it. So
Yeah. Okay. I just click to allow participants to share screen.
all right, give me a second. Let me fix one thing at a time.
Yeah. We're watching you change your camera back to proper setting.
Okay, there we go. That's better. Now I gotta fix
really
the
dark.
exposure. There we go.
There you go.
That's better.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, give me a second, and I want to minimize. That.
I'll take you off screen so that you don't on the
Hang on,
possibility that.
Hang on. Here we go. Got it. Hold on. That should do it.
Oh, that's a lot clearer.
Okay.
Screen sharing is way more clear than using camera input in Zoom.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this has been this way on two machines for easily, well, the gaming machine I redid, so that's probably only been about 2 or 3 months, but this
Yeah.
is the streaming machine. This has been sitting like this for easily 6 months. I've not told it to download and install. I've not told it to stay on time. I've told it nothing.
Yeah.
And there's no even remote hint. The only time that I get any hint that it wants to do Windows 11 is if I shut down the machine and restart it. And I've shared those screenshots before where it comes up with the, you want to install 11 and you hit the decline. And then it like gives you a second screen like, really, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure.
Yeah. You
So-
can go ahead and turn off your sharing.
Yep.
I wonder if my computer would do the same thing with Jim and everybody else's, but I'm too scared to find out.
No, I believe we purposely turned off the TPM on your machine, which is a BIOS thing, which you would have to actually go into the BIOS and change.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that.
So, like I said, I'd love to have somebody give me some actual documentation of this happening, but
Yeah.
so far,
I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think they're doing it anymore if they ever did it. The two clients that reported upgrade to Windows 11 without them intending that, they were around the same time period. And that's part of what makes me think maybe there was a short period of time that Microsoft did it and they said, oops, that's not going over well. Now, on both of those clients, well, one of those clients, I know I reverted them back to Windows 10. I think there were two that I reverted back to Windows 10, but I didn't document that, so I'm not certain. Well, I probably did document it in my time slip charges to them, but I haven't gone back to see if I actually have that documentation. But I think I reverted two of my clients back to Windows 10 when they reported right away that their computer upgraded and now it looks weird. I don't think they even told me or understood that it was Windows 11 that made it look weird. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see that happen anymore, if it ever did happen.
right.
All those programs to reinstall, configure settings to change, we shouldn't have to do that. Agreed. Chris, yes, not declining equals you agree and installs without any human consent. So Chris, you're saying that, but can you provide any documentation, evidence of that? We have no idea when we look at you saying that, whether that's just your opinion, maybe you read it from somewhere, maybe that's your intuition. I have no reason to know what your background is for saying that. If you have a video showing that, or even photographic evidence, please, we'd love to see that. I'm currently just playing with Windows 11, mostly virtual machine. One of my main reasons Windows 11 going to change a lot of things, and having to relearn those things has me annoyed. Greg Guy, I received the notice that my PC is ready for Windows 11. Click the decline button. Just like Windows. Now, if you do click the decline button, I think you wind up seeing the screen that Jim just displayed. Meaning I think I may have clicked the decline button on my computers previously. I don't remember. Wouldn't have paid much attention to it. But I have seen restarting a computer, seeing a message down at the bottom that has a couple buttons to click on. And one of them had the word decline. And I think every time I've seen that, I've chosen decline. And I don't know that I have, in fact, I know that I have not intentionally monitored it after ignoring that message. So I'm not sure on that. Just like Windows 10 when it first came out, but anyway, I'll also say, if I come across that again, where the decline button is there after restarting a computer, most likely, I'm going to try to document it, and meaning intentionally ignore the message, not click either way, just move on, nothing to see here, ignore it, and see what happens. Lawn Dog, just like Windows 10 when it first came out, I don't studied the heck out of it. Then I found out they kept changing things. Windows 10 from the original to what it is today, a lot different. Yeah, and I haven't done it yet, as you obviously know, but it's time for me to start working with it. I love the Beast Canyon Nook looks. Okay, whatever.
Hey,
Um,
Doug,
Doug, Gary.
Yeah. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Good morning, afternoon.
Good
What time
morning.
it is. Got a quick one for you and Jim, both on Windows 11.
Okay.
Went out with breakfast with my wife and a couple of friends, and officially there is an answer that Jim and I have kind of talked about on Ken's show. The Windows 11 will update without you being asked. One condition: you bought the machine from a legitimate third-party big box, small box seller, not Dell or HP, but Lenovo's done it on a couple of their machines. And if you see it at the store, it's dying away now, but you'll see it at the store, will update to Windows 11. Some of them actually say that on the box.
Okay.
They actually use Task Scheduler to update.
Oh.
So when that message, they're looking for the message to pop up, just like you and I might get on a Windows 10 machine. They will update it, because if you looked at their website, even today, some say, when available, you will get Windows 11. You will get Windows 11 when it's available for your machine.
And what manufacturers? We
officially know, person officially had it happen on a Lenovo that they own, because what they did was they're like me, and they do a Cronus backup about 3 times a week. And they had Windows 11. They said, I can't have Windows 11. I didn't know, but we're using it at work, so it's no big deal. They restored, and it happened again. And it can't be happening. And they went everywhere, and they found a task scheduler. It was set by the factory to update Windows 11 when it came.
So I'm very tempted to buy a Lenovo just to demonstrate that. I
heard it was only one model of Legion that he bought, but go check and see which one. But what he said, and if you looked at the website, and I'll post them out on, I don't remember at Ken's or next week, or send an email if they can find it. But they made a big point about we'll update when ready.
Okay. Well, I have seen and observed that a lot of the major manufacturers do seem to have their own twist on the Windows initialization, and I know that there's even published methods that I could create a customized installation media myself if I wanted to do that. So that sounds like a manufacturer deciding for some reason that they wanted that to happen.
Well, what they were trying to do, the way they did it in Task Scheduler, the way they did it in Task Scheduler was not that. In other words, they were saying, today we can't put it on your machine when we actually built the machine. Okay. And you get normal, just like Greg may have gotten, you and I have gotten Windows 10 machines before. Jim probably got it this month. They have a task scheduler to go, oh, Windows update, let's go get it today. When you run this machine, task scheduler does Windows update every night on, okay? And when you get one that has Windows 11, they just update. Okay. So your machine is updated when ready, and you didn't have to worry about it.
Well, was that also maybe a specific model of Lenovo and only for a certain period of time, and perhaps now that model of Lenovo only comes with Windows 11?
Correct. Excuse me. I'm saying correct from what he has discovered, but it could be other models. In other words, the point he is making when he told me, he was laughing about it, just like, we declined and it keeps coming back or something. Is basically the machine knew it could run Windows 11, from Microsoft. They updated it. They didn't have you take the chance to say yes yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can go set it up yourself in Task Scheduler for your own machine when you build it, or you can go try to get it yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, all they did was, if you called the complaint, they'd say, well, are you happy you got Windows 11 now? Because we said you'd get it when ready. It's no big deal. I mean,
it would be an interesting data set if you could collect the data that the people are getting the supposed automatic Windows 11 update. Are they all OEM machines as opposed to custom builds?
If you go to Task Scheduler, the ones that he had literally taken from a machine he bought for his daughter, they're taking credit for what they put in Task Scheduler. Lenovo is for that machine.
Okay.
For that machine model. So does Dell do it at all? I have no clue. Didn't ask, didn't call, don't care, didn't spend no time. I'm spending more time to say it than we spent laughing about it. But since I'm the Windows 11 person, my breakfast is paid for. So I pay my wife. What the hell? But yeah, all I'm saying is it looks like the ones that are doing it are promising it to you, and when it's ready, otherwise, when you get the question, they just say, sure, go for it. It's just like you do. Does your machine scan every day? If you're using Defender, do you get an automatic scan every day?
I'm sorry, say that again. I got distracted
If
with
you
the chat.
if you use Windows Defender, which I do, I
Yeah,
have my personal machine set up to run at midnight.
yeah,
A scan on the whole machine.
yeah.
That's it.
Well-
Yeah, so the two have nothing to do with each other. But the point I'm making, if you can set it up to yourself, when it notifies me of Windows 11, go ahead and update it. That's all they did. You know, they didn't do anything magnificent. They just said update.
Okay.
And I mean, the machines you've been ordering, I'm sure either have Windows 11 or Windows 11 ready, one of the two. That you've been ordering for customers in 2022. And I'm sure some of them, because I've seen this myself earlier in the year, because I bought a machine for somebody personal. And it's, I mean, it wasn't a problem, but it had said that this will be updated, you know, blah, 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 because it was like November, December, Christmas time, you know, they didn't have all the machines with Windows 11 yet. And it said, you have to worry about it. They had it all set up to, you know, run a little script like they do normally.
Ooh,
Anyway.
looks like we're getting close here.
Oh,
96%. This is weird
Yeah.
using a different computer, Doug.
Okay, well, my answer, but anyway, it did come with it. Thank you.
okay. Okay.
Update enabled, the RAM.
So I'm gonna quickly bounce back and forth here. So this DOK is disk on key. How you would think that I would know that's what that acronym means? No, you're giving me way too much. Oh, that's obscure. I've never. Okay, some people that might be part of their normal daily work with computers, not me. Look at that screen. To the novice person, they think there's something to download. They don't understand what Windows 11 is. Yeah, the novice person can easily click to go ahead and do that. He's taking calls like that. So I'm not going to try to read all of these chat into comments into the video because there's too many of them, but just letting you know that I am looking them as we're moving on here, and I have not yet said hello to Ken Stout. Hello to Ken Stout. He woke up. Is he waking up? Is he going to say something? No, he's watching something else.
I had to
He's out
mute my
fishing.
phone.
Hello, Ken.
Yeah.
Hello, Tim. Whose girlfriend's house are you at today in the kitchen?
I can't tell you that.
Hi, Doug.
Hi.
Jim.
Yeah, Tim
Josh.
revealed that earlier in the video. Obviously, you weren't around, so I don't think we're going to tell you.
No, I confused you because I said I'm listening on my phone, driving
Oh.
home.
Oh.
I said, I'm driving home. Now I'm home and I'm here. So I'll go back to mute myself.
All right. All right. Oh, let's see. Got to show this again. Where are we at? Pending restart.
Question.
So yes, Ken.
I got my fourth monitor set up. I need to get with you either later on this or maybe after this and figure out how I can get this to so I can move my mouse one direction and go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 instead of going 1, 3, 2, 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
My gaming mouse allows me to move it across multiple screens.
Hey,
Well,
Doug,
he can move across multiple screens. It's just that they're not lying. When he moves the mouse across, it doesn't go to the next screen that's physically on his desk.
Doug, why don't you take probably 3 minutes to under display drivers and not drivers, excuse me. You know what it is.
Device manager.
Yeah, just show him actually it's display. And you
You mean show the displays? That's a good point because we don't have to do that another time.
It's fairly quick. You just move them around.
Do that. Yeah, do that now.
It's where you did the thing to level the top height of your went up and down that day, if you remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I usually get to that by from the desktop, but I'd rather not minimize everything because I got them all lined up in a certain way. So that is personalization, display settings, I think. So I'm going to try doing it with a search. Got to use the right keyboard though. I knew that would get a little bit of a chuckle. Display, duplicate, extend, connected. That should get me to the right window. Shouldn't it? Down here, multiple displays. On advanced display set. Oh, here we go. So here's my 1, 2, and 3. I can just rearrange these by dragging them where I want to go. That's probably gonna be enough to do it. Now, let's see if
Will that work with a fourth monitor though?
It should. You should be seeing 4 monitors here. Yeah, if those monitors are connected to his computer. So now my rightmost monitor, which I think of as number 1, when I move my mouse to the right, it goes then to my middle monitor, and if I keep moving to the right, it goes then to my left monitor. Okay, and then that's the end. So now if I go back and drag these around the way that I want them and apply that, now I'm going to try moving my mouse to the left. Yes, it went to my middle monitor. And then keep going to the left. And yes, it went to my left monitor. Does that answer your question, Ken?
Yeah, basically, I brought mine up. I was following along as you were doing that. Mine set up 1 is, it goes 3, 1, 2, 4. So I'm going to have to experiment and get it to where I like it.
Yeah, drag them around.
The question.
Yeah, but then if you want them to actually be treated with different number assignments, I think the way that I've typically done that is by changing the connections to the computer. If I want this monitor to be thought of as number 3 by the computer instead of number 1, I'm not sure you can do that within the screen. Now, a couple other things to point out. See here how these monitors aren't horizontally aligned with each other.
Right.
If you leave them this way, that means when you move your mouse to the upper left edge of number 1, you won't be able to move to the next screen. You have to have these lined up the way that you want them, and that could be useful if you want to be able to move your mouse to the left edge of the screen without it going to the next monitor. If you want them to easily go across monitors, you need to have them lined up horizontally. And then another thing you can do, I'm going to go ahead and apply this, is click this identify button, and that's going to just display the number on each of your monitors briefly,
right,
of what they are. All right.
Oh yeah,
So,
they're correct. My 1 is my 1, my 2 is, they're correct as far as that respect goes. But, and I just tried doing what you did.
yeah.
I have 2 different size monitors, 221s, 132, and 140. They're not lined up in the display thing, but I can move straight across, up, down, middle. It works just fine. Shouldn't, I agree with you, it shouldn't. They have to be offset enough or connected to work, but mine work just fine. I just have to go to get to my 4th monitor, which is the one I just hooked up. I literally have to go to 3 to 2 to 4. So I'll figure it out. That'll be my 4th stream today. Oops, shameless plug.
All right.
Are we restarting this puppy or what?
Yeah. So let's move on. Close that. And punch a button.
Somebody
Let's
around here's got to
restart.
crack a whip.
Restart this puppy. Thank you, Jim.
Hello, Doug.
Hello. Who's that? Alex Cheek.
Alex.
The short-haired Alex Cheek.
Yes,
Hi.
me and Josh are twins now. We both have the same haircut.
Oh, you're even using the word twins to reference to yourselves. Okay, that's a
Everybody get a
development.
haircut the same time I did.
Oh, there you go. So then I'm gonna let's see. This is curious to me that Windows has a hard time restarting when Task Manager is open. That seems like Windows
I've had
shouldn't
that.
have trouble with that. That's always
seen that. I've seen that several times on
Yeah,
some of the stuff I do. Task Manager, if it's open, it don't want to restart.
yeah.
Why
Which
is that?
that seems silly to me because that's just a nothing burger. So I often will cancel and go back and close Task Manager, but I'm just going to go ahead and do restart anyway.
And
Updates
Doug,
are
I just want to
underway.
Verify that on my particular computer, in order to get my HP monitor in front of me to register as number 1 and my TV to register as number 2, I did have to switch the HDMI cables around
Yeah,
to the
Yeah.
different ports on the back of the computer.
yeah, that's been a common thing. And I have also noticed that you might be limited in how much you can do in that regard based upon HDMI versus DisplayPort. If you have some monitors using HDMI, some using DisplayPort, they're not interchangeable, and I haven't looked at it close enough to figure out why or which. But I have even gone to the extent of swapping which monitor is connected to an HDMI port in order to accomplish what I wanted. And I have also gone to the extent of purchasing a cable that is HDMI on one end and DisplayPort on the other in order to accomplish what I wanted. Because if you try to reassign the numbers by swapping the cables around, you might not be able to get what you want if you have issues regarding to the type of cable. Working on updates 2%.
I have Doug.
Yeah.
Okay, quick. I have Alienware PC that I use at home, and HDMI, 2 display ports, and of course the laptop display. And there's a utility they actually have. I know it's different, but the utility it tells you external monitors. That's how it sets it up. So you don't change cables.
I'm not sure I followed that. There's a utility that you're using in order to accomplish the arrangement of monitors that you want?
Yes,
Okay.
and I mean, it's built into the laptop. You can also say that you want them to be the same, like maybe one's an external monitor just displayed at the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, laptops with typically on a function key, for its screen sharing method has things you can do there regarding your monitor setups that aren't available on a desktop computer. I assume they're not available on a desktop computer.
I actually, well, I shouldn't say that. On Windows 11, I know that they are on the computer, another non-laptop computer. The deal is it shows up and like you pop it to the, instead of 4 is actually ends up being the 100 inch screen at the front of the room.
Okay.
How much RAM is in Baby Beast?
32 gigabytes. Somebody commented in chat about how powerful a computer that is, and they would like to have that on a laptop. And I don't know if that person is aware that Big Beast is an i9 and 256 gigabytes of RAM. If I pay for paying the money that I paid for this, I got a little bit of bragging rights here. It's an i9 9980XE, 3 gigahertz, 256 gigabytes of RAM, and 8 terabyte NVMe drive as its main drive. Working on updates 75%.
It's moving along pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that on screen, but I am looking at chat to see what I need to catch up on. Let's see, Chris McGraw saying to disable TPN and BIOS on all machines except Acer. Let's see, went to Windows 11, but it broke my taskbar, so I reverted back to Windows 10 from Ryan, Rain One Full. There's Londog. There's actually, as we all know, a risk to rolling back from Windows 11 to Windows 10, and I kind of tell my customers that thing can happen reverting back. Now, I'm not going to revert back. I'm not going to roll back from Windows 11 to Windows 10. I'm going to restore an image backup. I specifically do not want to roll back from 11 to 10 after sticking with it. Well, I'm going to stick with it on Baby Beast for longer than the rollback period anyway. I think the rollback period is 10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
Yes, sir.
which
Yeah.
I consider to be ridiculously short, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Sorry.
It is short.
I was going to say, from what we've been told with Dell, which is to Microsoft, we know the 10 days, but basically they're saying it's a rollback to fix a bad install, not you don't like the
Yeah.
operating system.
It's not to go back by choice. It's something was wrong. They want you deciding that quickly. I can understand why they would make that choice. So
Fortnite
here we'll
doesn't
log
work.
in. Logged in with a PIN number, and yes, I do log in with a Microsoft account on my computers because it is useful to me. Get over it, for those of you who find that upsetting.
In 2 years of using Microsoft,
I have a funny
that will
feeling
be-
that was directed my way. I can't say that it's true, but
I'm sure there will be workarounds. There'll probably be lawsuits, but in 2 years, I've been told you have no choice. Not just.
I
because
wouldn't
of
be
Windows.
surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I'm not going to try to work around it for my clients because I think there's a liability on my part for that. And it's not that big a deal to accomplish. Let's see. The other another YouTuber, not Carrie, the one that has a Z.
J2Z or
Jay's 2 cents.
Yeah,
He made a big issue about not wanting to have to deal with his client's Microsoft's account in setting up a computer. Well, you know what? That might be another get over it thing.
Well, it's even like, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, a get over it thing in the sense of there are ways to do it more palatable, and I'll probably be including videos about that, particularly since it might be more of a significant thing coming up. But
If you're
Asus,
I'm sorry, if you're a small law office and you're using even OneDrive and you get locally hacked, and I say you let my credit card number out of the tax guy, you're covered because of that. I mean, not legally, but you can say I did my due diligence.
Yeah.
Where if you hacked around the account and tried to put it on your own, not server, work group, or your own, I can't think of the word, the SATA, or not SATA, the remote drives you put over in the corner. What are they called? Whatever. Help me, somebody. But yeah, if you put it there.
Network at NAS?
Yeah, thank you. I apologize.
Okay.
Network, if it's there and you my charge card out when you do my taxes, you're not covered. That was you. But if it's on OneDrive, Microsoft, and they take that liability.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not preaching it because I don't use it. I'm using the domain.
Yeah. Here's Boss in chat. Some of the fear and rumors regarding Windows 11, nothing more than the sky is falling. Yeah. Okay. Greg, no, I have not received the screen Jim showed us. Well, that won't that won't just pop up. You go into Windows Update to see that screen that Jim displayed. So, is Greg in? No, Greg's not in Zoom. Sometimes is. But if you go into Windows Update, do you have that screen? Now, it's only going to show up there if your computer meets the criteria for Windows 11. I'm kind of scrolling through quickly here looking for more orange. Hello from John. And Greg, I haven't had a haircut in 8 months. Nobody has cut my hair in, I think, a couple decades. I cut it myself.
Do we get to call him Mountain Man then?
I cut my own hair. I started doing that in junior high school. Jeff Ryman, see you later. I have to get back to the bank before it closes. Can you extend the rollback period up to 60 days? I don't think so. Chris, the only difference is that your data is encrypted that way. So I think he's referring to OneDrive there. The only difference in what difference? If you're using, well, I think even with OneDrive, you have to choose to have it encrypted. And with Windows 11, you also have to choose to have it encrypted. I don't think that's automatic. Although I have seen Windows 11 new computers coming to me with encryption in progress. it won't complete that until I attach to a Microsoft account, I think. That's what appears to be happening. But they definitely, when I go in to look at encryption on a new computer that comes with Windows 11, I go look at encryptions, and it indicates that encryption is active, but it's not completed yet. And I think it's because I've always been doing local accounts on those computers. Dennis, Jay's 2 cents is sensitive to Microsoft telemetry. As for me, I use a Microsoft account. Yeah, he doesn't like letting Microsoft have his data. You know what? When you buy stuff at the grocery store, you're giving your data to the clerk. He's seeing everything that you buy. What's he going to do with that? Well, my attitude is the same with Microsoft. What are they going to do with that? Well, one thing they are going to do is, the advertising stuff. You know what? That benefits me because things cost less for me because manufacturers of software and hardware get some advertising revenue. You can take either side of that argument, but it is what it is. Iran, Israel, you cannot, can you? Iran, Israel, you cannot, can you?
Yeah, you read it. You read his line a little bit long. He says you can extend it to 60 days. He wasn't asking if you could.
Oh, you can extend the rollback period up to 60 days.
Are you sure?
Oh, he's telling us that we can?
That's what I believe he's saying.
The way I know how they do it, that'd be like using the birth control instead of the night 60 days from now. It just doesn't work that way. Because what happens with the rollback that is made as it's updated, it's copying the setups in place. So if, let's say, you put on McAfee antivirus instead of Defender, that's all going to be messed up when you try to roll back in 2 months.
Yeah.
If it's a gaming machine, I would not do that, or a work machine. New. I like what Doug said. Image or whatever.
Yeah. So let's look at the options here. Updates available to install. Pending download. Pause updates. Update history. Advanced options.
It would be under recovery.
Yeah, I think so too. But I was looking here first. Optional updates. So here's recovery. Before I go there, I want to finish out the rest of what's on here. So that was in advanced options. Insider program. No, not interested. So advanced options, then recovery. Does this give me an option to increase the rollback period? Reset. Go back. Is this version, if this version isn't working, try going back to Windows 10. Supporting the idea that it is there for the purposes of if you're having trouble. Advanced startup. No. Okay, so looking back here, if I click and go back, that's not clickable.
No, they do a lot of those now. Hate that.
They what?
They have a lot of those going now. Almost every menu on Windows 11 has that. They look like menu choices or clicks.
Well, it did pop up this window when I clicked on it, but the mouse wasn't changing to indicate it's clickable. So yeah, all this, and when I go to one of these blue items, you can see the mouse changed to the hand, which is clearly clickable. These items don't look clickable because the mouse is not changing, but here I'm going to click on go back. Click is done. I'm waiting. Do I have the right mouse? Yeah. Okay. Now I think I did click out here. The mouse also doesn't change over here, but I'm going to click on this. Click. There, we saw it. Yeah, we saw it respond to the click. So that's curious.
Well, is it really curious? Given that Microsoft wants everybody on 11, is it really curious?
Well, okay, yeah, I will defend my statement because that is such a bonehead minor thing for them to make a clickable item not change the mouse. They had to do programming to prevent that from changing the appearance of the mouse.
Yeah, I get that.
So
they did it on purpose.
Yeah, somebody made a decision to do that, to make the mouse not change. And that just, they have the option still there. And they think by not letting the mouse change, that's going to convince somebody to not go back.
Well, it's going to convince somebody that they can't go back.
Maybe. Which is a reason to say that Windows 11 is broken. Because it says here that this is something you can do, that you can go back, but it's not clickable. I'm not going to try clicking on it because my mouse didn't change. Therefore, I'm being tricked by Microsoft into thinking I can't go back. That's broken.
That's not broken. That's on purpose.
Yeah, it's a pathetic choice. Can I say that?
Without question, yes, you can.
Thank you. So I'm going to turn my head over here to read it off there because it's kind of hard for me to read it off the streaming computer. So it wants me to give one of these check marks. My apps or devices don't work on Windows 11. Windows 10 seems easier to use. Windows 10 seemed faster. Windows 10 seemed more reliable. Or another reason, and if you click another reason, I'm guessing that it might force you to type something into this tell us more box. So here's telemetry, ding, ding, ding. They want if you're going to roll back, they want to know why.
Does that go to Microsoft when you click it?
I think I read in a blog post that it goes to Apple.
Ooh.
Wow. By the way, Zvi in the chat says it's a DISM command to extend it to 60 days.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not in there. All right, great.
Yeah, you won't find it.
Yeah, I wouldn't
They're
think
not going to show that to you.
Yeah, they're not going to volunteer that. No way. No way. So but I wanted to see that it's not indeed there. So here's some orange stuff for me to catch up on. The only difference is here, encrypted data cannot be accessed without your PIN or login of the concerned account. Sensitive, I already read some of these. You cannot, that's why I was highlighted back there, because I was trying to clarify that. Jay considers Windows 11 too invasive of your privacy. I think it's actually the Microsoft account, which is almost synonymous with Windows 11. I don't know that he's sensitive to Windows 11 with a local account. If he's sensitive to Windows 11 being too invasive even when using a local account, that would be a little different statement. DISM command and I'm not interested in what the command is. I will be back when a restart is required. We already did that, didn't we? But maybe his comment was earlier than that, I guess. Jesus shouldn't use computers altogether. Too paranoid or have an important person delirium. Okay. Ida, I'm not going to argue against your comment. Thank you for making your comment. Chris, not only Microsoft makes money on your licenses, but also the data they collect. Yeah, they do. They do it Google style. And if they didn't, we would be paying more to use their software. They do a Google style, and Jay's 2 cents won't like this. I agree when they ask too much data and spy on their users. I'm not sensitive to it. I don't mind it when I see advertisements about things that I'm interested in.
Hey, Mr. Betts. Sorry,
yeah.
I keep interrupting you. Mr. Betts, you live in California. I have actually checked this on a personal thing. But if I want to, I can do Tim and yourself. I can find out where you live. I can find out your car, who has the note on your car, and your insurance. You know who sells that information? Sells that information. Your DMV out there.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah. DMV sells the information. I think your grocery store sells information.
Your county sells your house information.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about your computer, you
there's a whole lot more invading your privacy and your information being sold and marketed way beyond our computers.
Well, you refinanced your house last February. That's on your deed.
Yeah.
And the county sold it.
Yeah.
And the taxes? How much did you? My God, this is the amount of your taxes.
What if you have to shut down the machine Doug, in order for that information to become available? Let's see. Well, he's referring to something prior comment, I guess. Does anybody in Zoom know what he's referring to?
I would be thinking actually you updated Windows 11.
What if you have to shut down the machine, Doug, in order for that function to become available? What function?
Oh, the Windows 30 maybe? Windows 60?
The 30 days or 60 days, whatever it was?
Maybe. No, you don't have to restart DISMs ever.
Oh, maybe what he's referring to is for me to see that option available on screen within Windows Update for it to allow that longer period of time. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think it's just that DISM. I fully trust the people who have already told us it's a DISM command. Yeah, so no, restarting the computer is not going to make it available. Javi, as Rand wrote, do DISM command. I'll go ahead and display this. I'm absolutely not interested in it. But here would be the DISM command, which I could almost remember what DISM stands for. It's not even going to give us that verbiage. And I don't care. You don't need to put it into chat. It's easily searchable. Yeah, so I've gone all the length I'm interested in that. Greg, I used Shutup 10. It was just updated on June 3rd. So that would be, Shutup 10 would be to prevent Windows 11. Seems like it would be worded Shutup 11 rather than 10.
Yeah.
If Microsoft wants everyone on Windows 11, why don't they lower the minimum requirements? Well, no, that's an easy answer to that. This is all about security, and they also care about performance issues as they start adding more baggage to Windows 11. They don't want complaints down the road. If they've allowed lower capable computers to upgrade to Windows 11, or if they've lowered their minimum requirements, then there's going to be more complaints down the road as they start making Windows 11 more and more complex. They want everyone on Windows 11 on reasonably current computers, and their minimum specifications, in my opinion, are reasonably current computers. What was it? 2017 is around the
pretty much
around the time frame. So by the time 2025 comes around, that means 8-year-old computers meeting the minimum requirements. I think that's really reasonable.
I mean,
Ali, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm making a chat. I apologize, but I mean, you work with customers, obviously, and if they're doing typing and stuff, 8-year-old computer is fine. But if you're online, like let's say real estate, we're looking up stuff, they have their video full of houses and stuff. You're not running 8-year-old computers that easily. Then when you start adding all the security features of Windows 11, you don't want an 8-year-old computer doing that. You're complaining it's slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds bad to say this, but I don't mean the secretaries, but the clerical jobs. They don't need a fast computer for 80% of their work.
No.
And they can still have Windows 11 or those security aspects.
Yeah.
But going to engineering, yeah, right. They do not have the same machine performance-wise.
Right.
So that's why you don't want to go back and say, well, because the problem is the get-home user or even the minimum user is going to say, my computer says I can run it. I got it 2014. It isn't running it properly. I mean, I know personal people that still have 8 gig memory.
Our programming department at work, we got to have nice computers for programming CNC machines.
Our programmers don't start. They start with no less than 64 gig. 3080s.
Wow. I have recently come across computers in use without the users complaining with Windows 10 with 4 gigabytes of RAM.
They obviously don't do much.
I have seen.
True. They don't.
Mm.
They have very little. They're basically word processing and even very little internet. And that in most cases, I wind up upgrading them, and they wind up, they report it working better. And they're not, when I say they're not complaining, part of that is they don't realize how sluggish their computer is. When I go work at their computer and I realize for the things I need to do with it, this is pretty sluggish. And I go checking and, oh my gosh, you got 4 gigabytes of RAM. How did that ever happen? And so then I wind up upgrading them and they report it works better. But they're out there. They're out there.
Yep. Yeah. By the time you hit Windows 8, 4 gigs not enough.
No, not. You know what? I think Windows 10 works better with lower RAM than Windows 8 did.
Oh, it may.
Yeah. And the TPM is really the biggest thing about the minimum requirements, and that is a security issue. Alias Tabej, welcome. Good to see you. Wait for Windows 11 until the end of 2024. User account or not, it is wrong and considered piracy for everyone else, Doug. Not quite sure. User account or not, it is wrong. I guess he's referring to Windows 11 at all, or the spying. I'm not sure.
No, I'm sorry. Theoretically, YouTube and a couple other social media places for a couple of days tried to say that hack to get around the Microsoft instruction to put it in a Microsoft account was piracy.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Is that what he's referring to? All right.
Yeah, literally somebody had sent that out, and YouTube was not letting you post because you were posting how to commit piracy. I mean, it's not use a password. If you don't want to use a password, don't use one. Well, we know how it works, but yeah, somebody literally sent that out as a thing, and it isn't a thing.
No, were you saying related to passwords or related to a Microsoft account?
No. Microsoft account got 3 months ago, 2 months. Somebody had sent out to social media around the country, world actually, that if you tried to bypass the Microsoft account in setup, or when you're doing your setup, the way Alex showed, that was piracy because you were trying not to put a password in. No, you're trying not to use a Microsoft account.
Yeah, you used password there. You didn't mean to use password. You meant Microsoft.
No, I said password. You just, in other words, they were saying social commentary, and I'm not doing anything wrong. Somebody actually wrote an op-ed, had nothing to do with anything, but the reason we shouldn't have assault rifles is they shoot 1 million bullets because look at the Matrix. Reality and fantasy crossed. Not putting a Microsoft account has nothing to do with piracy. It has.
I would agree with that.
Exactly. So somebody said, "Oh, Alex showed how not to put that. He is showing how to commit piracy on Windows 11. He's showing you how not to put a password in, basically, or user ID." No, they actually said not putting that account in is piracy.
All right, and I think Chris's LOL here is he's not really holding that to be his position.
I hope
and
not.
Yeah, he says for everyone else. It's considered piracy for everyone else. So
I have a comment.
I don't know.
Since Microsoft is supposedly requiring people to have a Microsoft account on Windows 11, wouldn't that be the same thing as, say, if Google made everybody have a YouTube account to watch a video on YouTube?
No, I don't think that's the same thing.
I wouldn't call it that. To make a view, how about to say make a YouTube video? Then I would say maybe, but to watch it, no.
No, but I mean just to watch it, because Microsoft is essentially saying to use your computer, you can't use it without a Microsoft account.
Yeah, you just said use it. To watch a video is not the same as making it and posting. So in other words, if you're going to make and post a video to YouTube, you have to be registered with the owner of YouTube. If you're going to use Windows 11, you got to be registered with the owner of Windows 11's copyrights, let's say. That's what Microsoft is saying.
Okay, so anyway, my response to the question is, no, I don't think it's the same thing. The operating system versus watching videos, I don't even think that needs to go any further. Continuing. Oh, let's see. Rand to Zv. It's for privacy settings. Scanning through these a little bit, trying to catch up a little bit. Laughing at the irony, Chris. Okay, yeah. There are tech oligarchs. Wow, that's accomplished least memory found when 10 works decently on a virtual machine. Oh, that's to Ryan. Entities who don't want you to use the computer without verifying who you are. Some traceability. And that's one person's Microsoft account. The same thing with the Google account, traceability. And by advertising and selling data and all that, well, that saves us a lot of money on stuff and saves the amount of advertising I see. So again, I don't care about it. And you can't use a Chromebook without a Google account. You can't use a Mac computer without an Apple account.
Sure you can. But now that you're wrong, Doug. I have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have one leveling the table. It works perfect.
Without an Apple account?
Yeah, it levels the table.
Oh.
It levels the table.
Oh, levels the table.
Levels the table.
You had me going there.
Okay, levels the table.
Oh, God. Doug, I almost thought you were saying I was totally wrong. So I am right about that. Mac computer, you have to have an Apple account, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do. I don't actually do that. I don't actually do that often enough to
Actually, you have to have an iCloud account to set up your iPhone.
Yeah. Same thing with an iPad, and it's been that way for a long time.
These Samsung phones are requiring us to have a.
You can't buy a new car without giving up your personal data. I mean, how?
You got to have a OneDrive account with these new Samsung Android phones now, because they're not using their cloud storage no more. They're using OneDrive now.
Let's see. I guess there's nothing else for us to look at or do on Baby Beast. Oh, well, let's see. Well, this is something interesting. I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture. Download.
I'm going to get going, Doug, but I want to tell you a couple of things that are real, but half comedy, but real, that I have actually gotten the past 2 weeks on some legal stuff. You ever walk by a secretary at one of the places you work for, and they're writing up Bill because he stole from Sue? It's on, the letter is saved on the desktop, so you can, click on it when they don't need to change it.
Okay.
Ever seen something like that, or disciplinary?
No.
Because...
Oh, well, it maybe seen something on a desk or on a computer screen that probably shouldn't. Somebody would not have liked me to have seen.
The icon still says, Sue missed too many days, right, or something.
Oh, as an icon on a desktop, yeah.
To click it and open the letter up, or
Okay.
That could get you in trouble, sir.
That is something I'm not going to say that I lose sleep over it, but it is something that I'm very, very aware of.
Your client should lose sleep over it.
Yeah, the stuff that I have access to, the way my clients entrust their account credentials to me and don't even take effort to know their own passwords. I mean, they forget their password. They call, for some particular account, they call me. I have it stored in a secured way that a person can't walk up to my computers and access that. But that means that I have access to peruse information that would be considered sensitive. So if something happens, if my clients encounter some kind of a compromise of some sort, I conceivably could be on the suspect list.
Definitely. Well, this was a seminar. I wasn't at it, but they sent two, one of our security engineers and, low-level person take notes, got the recorder going, the whole thing. And half of it was, I'm just talking where you click and open the document, but now, remember the good old 8 and 3 days where you just say, DougBet, right, for DougBet write-up or something? Now it's DougBet write-up or stealing or, doing this, that, and the other. Basically, have the write-up as the name of the document.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I walked by the person who was doing the write-ups thing. I now know what Doug did, basically, from the
right.
And it's there permanently. Well, you know what I mean. That'll go. We have people that have their desktop full of documents. Just tons of them
Yeah.
that go there to rot, but like I'm saying, I'm being serious. That is one of the big things. And you'd be surprised what's there. Refund of overcharge, $43,000 on closing, or, it's like, no, you're just admitting something wrong. The next guy that sits at that desk while you're looking at a house, let's say, realtor Jim wrote the purchase agreement wrong. And I'm sitting there talking to Tim, and I'm seeing where Jim wrote a purchase agreement wrong in a write-up or something. So you basically want to clear desktop with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid, but you think about it, it's stupid to put it there, but people do. That's just like even small offices, where they can put 5 payroll checks. How many times have you seen the copy of a check when it came in on the screen at the bank while they were at lunch? I've seen it tons of times at my bank, they left, quote, your check, for $8,000 for buying 3 computers for your customer, detailed up on the screen, and went to the bathroom and then started talking to Sue back in the back room. And then I up to you, and for 3 minutes while I'm waiting the guy to get off the phone, I'm reading your information off the screen because they don't have timeouts set on that stuff. Okay, guys, thank you.
Okay.
Love seeing you. Seriously.
All right.
See you next week.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, bye.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
And when he bounces out, is that going to change my picture broadcast in Zoom? Waiting for Gary to bounce out. Yep. So fix that. Click over here to that preset. And then I have to adjust it as well. Going back to chat. Chromebook, trying to skip over things to get to the orange ones. Ryan, someone tried to run Windows 10 with 512 megabytes of RAM. 512, okay.
It's like a 350-pound fat man running uphill after an ice cream truck.
Yeah. Speedy Doug, when and why did you decide to create the Task Manager videos? They are very informative. Actually, it wasn't the Task Manager videos that I decided to do. I previously, sometime back, had these daily videos that I was publishing. Oh, come on, I was doing my time slips. What did I call that? Yeah, I had a name for it, and I was doing them daily, talking about showing what I was working on for clients, and I had daily videos. Well, I've not been doing that for a long time, so I've been wanting for a long time to get back to some kind of daily presence. I wanted to do live. I wound up choosing to do live streams because they're quicker and easier to accomplish. And so I came across Task Manager is just the first thing that I'm going to be doing. After I finish Task Manager, I'm going to move on to something else. So I intend for this Windows Daily to be an ongoing thing, Mondays through Fridays, with similar level of informative videos. And thank you, Speedy C, for commenting you're finding them informative, because I haven't had a whole lot of feedback on them, a little bit, but not as much as I thought I would, but I'm just going to keep going with them. Now, it's live streaming, but I'm not interacting with chat during the live stream. On the subsequent day, I'll be acknowledging the chat messages and comments on the videos and any emails that come in with more questions. And similar to the way we did that thing with Ken Stout's monitors today, I intend for that to be a quick response capability for people. Tech Tales, thank you. That's what it was called. I intend for these to be an interactive with the audience in the sense that when some question or significant comment comes up in chat or in comments or by email, I'll reply to it the next day, but I'm not going to try to interact live with the audience because that takes too much time. And I want to keep, my intention was they'd be 5 to 15 minutes long. So far, every one of them has been around 15 minutes long. So that's my answer to you, Speedy C. Thank you for asking that and giving me the opportunity to plug that. Kind of scanning through. I'm not, I do see my name here. So Doug, after all my years of computer repair, I've had many customers of mine who constantly lose their passwords. So like you, I store them securely using password managers. Yeah, right on. But there's a certain sense of liability to that. So theoretically, I could choose, and some technicians do this, choose that if they forget their password, then we'll help them walk them through a password recovery and reset the password. But I know some technicians work along the lines that, no, I don't want to know your password. And if a technician sets up an initial password for somebody, they set it to require change of password on the first login. Now, I do have one client that I'm working with right now and another client that I'm going to be going through this while we're securing them up, and I will no longer have their passwords. I will no longer know their passwords. So it means a different method of connecting remotely to their computers. And it's going to be using apps on their phones for two-factor authentication, even for logging into their local computer. And that's in areas where we need to have cybersecurity insurance, because cybersecurity insurance requirements are increasing every year.
There we go. I finally got that boot screen to come up on a data recovery machine.
Microsoft. Okay, can you share the? Oh, that's a camera, isn't it? That's not.
That is a camera. I've got the Brio pointed at the other screen.
All right, let me spotlight you and bring you up to show that.
Yeah, because I was doing a couple updates to the machine. I was doing updates to the Linux side and the Microsoft side, and Reboot finally brought up this.
Okay, Microsoft recommends Windows 11 for your device. Meet Windows 11. We think you'll love it. We'll download and install this free upgrade. It's about 4 gigabytes. A few minutes after you reach your desktop, and the buttons at the bottom I can't read very well.
You've got Learn More.
Yeah.
You got Decline Upgrade. You got Schedule It.
Yeah.
And then way over here is Get It.
Get It. So how easily would an end user click on Get It? It's the default choice. It's highlighted. It makes sense. Microsoft recommendation, and maybe they usually won't have any idea what 10 versus 11 means. And there's nothing here that says that there's no mention here of Windows 10 at all.
No,
there isn't. Decline Upgrade, but there is no mention of Windows 10. If there was any comment, like instead of Decline Upgrade, if it said stay on Windows 10, they might realize what this is doing.
Doug.
Tim?
Your picture in pictures hide.
Thank you. Right. Let me fix that. I do the preset. There, that turns that off. Yeah. Thank you, Tim. So that now, what happened for you to get this? You said you restart.
All I had to do was restart the machine. I was doing some updates. I have a Windows 10 partition and I have a Linux partition on the data recovery machine. Because depending on what data recovery I'm trying to do, sometimes Linux works out, sometimes Windows works out.
So this is not your streaming computer. You
No.
referred to this as your data recovery computer.
Correct. And once I was finished all the updates, I restarted the machine while we were going on about in Zoom, and the restart brought this screen up.
So you did nothing to trigger this. It was just this round of updates triggered this window.
Right.
And you can't even see that this is a app window. I'm wondering if you do Windows key D for desktop, will this minimize or even go away without clicking anything?
Well, let's try, because I have another keyboard tied into this.
Okay.
No, let me
no response.
Let me make sure the keyboard is on. No response. You don't get past this unless you make a decision.
Make a decision. And just for the information of anyone who's not aware, those buttons in the upper left is not part of this screen. That's part of Zoom. The original sound off and remove spotlight.
What about Control-Alt-Delete?
Yeah. Well, that would kind of make me think the same thing, but let's see. Okay, brings up that.
Oh, take a look at Task Manager. Does that show up as an application, or Task Manager won't even open?
Well, I'll bet you it's open in the background.
That could be.
I'll bet you it's open in the background, but Microsoft is basically saying, "Oh, well, screw you. You're not getting to it."
Can you do Alt Tab and get to Task Manager in the background?
Well, let's see.
I'd like to see that attempt. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it shows that Task Manager is indeed open. It just won't let you see it.
It won't let you have access to it.
Wow.
Bastards. Bastards.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, but aggressive. Well, it gets better, Doug. The screen, there should be now 3 screens. There only used to be 2.
Yeah.
So there should be 3. So I'm just going to go and hit decline upgrade, because obviously you can't do anything. It doesn't let you go anywhere.
Right.
You got to make a decision.
All right.
So we're going to hit decline upgrade. Then it brings up this.
Oh, another thing trying to convince you to do it. And the bottom right says get Windows 11. And next to that it says skip for now.
And now this is the 3rd screen. It only used to be 2. When you got to the 2nd screen, it would go to the desktop. Now it's a 3rd screen.
And the buttons on the bottom right says continue to Windows 10 or back.
Right.
They're really trying to sell it.
So now I'm okay.
Ay caramba, ay bendito. All right.
There you go.
Thank you for sharing. Switching back to gallery. Turning my preset back on. And chat. All right, so yeah, Wintermute to Tech Tales, kind of skipping over things, looking for orange. Dennis, on all but one of my PCs I get, this PC doesn't currently meet the minimum requirements because my CPU doesn't qualify. It's possible you might be able to turn on TPM or whatever the comparable is on your computer. Kenny, they are pushing Windows 11. What was that, Josh?
I pulled Alex today. I'm so smart. I had Alex going nuts.
You fooled Alex today. You're so smart. Did I hear that correctly?
Yep.
Okay. And how did you do that?
I put my background in Windows 11. And then I pulled in my computer upgrade to Windows 11. But when he logged in, he realized it was Windows 10. So he didn't read the whole
that's a good one.
Oh, okay. Very good. I think I'm getting close to wrapping this up and closing down the live stream.
He won't be able to do it. He won't be able to do it again. It's a one-time thing.
Oh, okay. To fool you.
Gave me some ideas though.
Yeah. Okay. Reasonably caught up with chat. And let's shut this down. Let's see, what are we at? An hour, 38 minutes. Anybody got one last burning question or anything? If not, we'll say goodbye. Good night, John Boy.
No, I think that's pretty much it. Good night, Mary Ellen.
All right. Speedy C, I see your comment. You mentioned it because I asked for other subjects. And that was a ways up from what he had said. Oh, that was asking about the Task Manager videos. Okay, good. All right, so those of you in Zoom, please say goodbye to the audience.
Good night, Gracie.
Bye.
And I'm going to punch out of Zoom, end meeting for all, and then bring up my email address if you want to reach out to me for anything. I don't necessarily expect a reply to the email. I'd like to keep my email activity to a minimum, but if you have a suggestion for my Windows Daily videos or a technical question that I could respond in those videos, or if you'd like to do a remote session where I connect remotely to your computer during a Saturday live stream to help you with anything that's going on with your computer, that is a reason to send me an email. Other than that, if you have other things that you want to send by email, you can send it, but I'm not promising to reply. Depends upon what it is. Sometimes I get lots of paragraphs of people venting about something or another. And I may or may not even read those because they get kind of long-winded, but highly unlikely to reply. So just trying to keep control of my time. That's the only thing I have to sell to my clients. That's the only way I make a living, is by being very guarded with how I spend my time. I hope this video has been of some use to you. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.